Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Ashiki binti Auzi. My metric number 1181362. My group will present about application for halal certificate scope 5 of Malaysian Standard 1500. Happy watching. The Malaysian Halal Standard on Food MS1500 Halal Food General Requirement put forth the necessary and minimum requirement for food to be considered as halal. The standard also prescribes the necessary process, procedure and circumstances to certify that Muslim can consume the food. The MS1500 is a standard specifically developed to ensure only halal food is produced. The use of the standard requires the organization to comply with the requirements stipulated in the document for the production, preparation, handling and storage of halal food and shall be verified through site inspection as deemed necessary by the competent authority, in this case by JAKIM or JAIM. Malaysian Halal certification is open to application for food and beverage product, cosmetic product, pharmaceutical product, food premise, used good product, logistics service, slaughtered house, contract manufacturing and medical device product. Okay, each application must meet the following condition and criteria. We have 12 condition and criteria. Okay, for the first, have a valid business registration certificate from Companies Commission of Malaysia or cooperative registration certificate under the Cooperative Commission of Malaysia or the establishment document under the Act of Parliament or the respective ministries and other government agency. Okay, second, have a license or approval from the local authority or a letter of confirmation or a valid letter of support from any agency government. Third, have a valid food premise registration certificate from BKKM. Fourth, have a veterinary certification scheme or certificate or letter, still valid support from JPV. Number 5 is possess a valid manufacturer's license from NPRA, and number 6 is possess a valid establishment license from MDA. 7. Fully operational at least 3 months prior make an SPHM application for a new application. Number 8. Fully operate for at least 1 month at the one premise for companies that move location. Number 9. Produce and or handle halal product only, including trading product and comply with halal standard. Number 10 is make an SPHM application on all types of product or menus that are still produced at the premise. Number 11 is submit a halal certificate that is recognized and still valid for product repackaging application or submit supporting document that clearly state that the source of the material. Okay, the lastly is the name of the company, the product, the menu, the ingredient and the brand of the product apply. Should not use the statement halal or any representation or otherwise described for show it can be used by Muslim. Thank you.
My name is Nur Azwanadia binti Khairul Rizal 1181464. I will tell about the application procedure in applying Malaysia Halal Certificate. First, the company or applicant must meet the conditions and criteria application as specified under Procedure 5 that have been mentioned by Shikin just now. And then second, the company or applicant must register account user My eHalal system at www.halal.gov.my, and then within 24 hours working day, their user account registration will be confirmed by the competent authority. After their account is verified and be confirmed by the competent authority, then the halal certificate application must be done online via My eHalal system. Then they have to complete the My eHalal application form and must meet the following requirements, which are: first, the scheme and category of application must be selected correctly. Second, all information regarding the company or applicant information, raw materials or ingredients, manufacturers, products, menus and services and other related matters must they fill in accurately. And then third, raw materials or ingredients and products that use the code must be accompanied by a real name, not just a trade name. And then fourth, for all Malaysian halal certificate schemes shall not exceed 100 products except food premise schemes, logistics services schemes and contract manufacturing or original equipment manufacturer schemes. Fifth, the name of the registered product or menu must be the same as it appears on the packaging label or menu display. And lastly, the name of the product or menu in a foreign language shall be translated into Malay or English language. And then the supporting documents that have been complete, they must submit it to the competent authority within 5 working days after my e-halal application form has been submitted online. If their if their application and supporting documents are not complete and not accordance with the scheme and category of Malaysian halal certification, the competent authorities can reject the application and supporting documents that are not completed. And then the application shall be managed by the competent authority based on the Malaysian halal certification scheme and the address of the manufacturer. They can find out the competent authority that manage the application based on the information listed in the account My e-halal system user.
My name is Nuriza Husna binti Nasaruddin, 1181447. Next, the company and the applicant should not be allowed to apply for a change of competent authority that manage their halal certificate application. Application for central kitchens under the food and beverage product scheme, as well as the food premise scheme in the category of chain food premises, shall be managed by JAKIM. And application for 2 or more food premises that using the same brand and operating in different states shall be managed by JAKIM too. The competent authority shall deal directly with the company or applicant without going through a third party or intermediary such as consultants. Then the review of the application shall be carried out after all the supporting documents are received by the competent authority, and the review period depends on the applied for the number of products or menus and premises. Fee payment must be paid within 14 working days or a period that determined by the competent authority after receive the fee payment later. For the late fee payment that received by the competent authority will result in the application being rejected, and the company or the applicant must resubmit the new application. Any addition of products, menus, food premises and services, as well as changes in company registration shall not be allowed after the fee payment letter is issued by the competent authority. The company or the applicant must register in My e-halal user account and submit a new application in the event of change in the company registration. A field audit shall be conducted upon fee payment received by the competent authority, and the company or eligible applicant based on each Malaysian halal certification scheme offered are food and beverage product scheme, cosmetic product scheme, pharmaceutical product scheme, food premise scheme, consumption product scheme, logistics service scheme, slaughterhouse scheme, contract or OEM manufacturing scheme, and the lastly, medical device product scheme.
Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. My name is Ifatul Afna binti Muhammad Nasir, metric number 1181459. So according to the Malaysian Halal Management System 2020 stated that the competent authority shall have the power to prescribe action against the SPHM holder, or we call it as the Malaysian Halal Certification holder, who are found to have failed to comply with the Malaysian Halal Certification procedure. Besides that, as stated in the MHMS 2020, any Malaysian halal certification holders of the company or premise found to be doing the minor or the big inconsistency shall be subject to the following actions, such as the issued halal certification monitoring notice and notice non-compliant with Malaysian halal certification, be warned for correction to be made immediately or in a period of 14 days or any other period deemed appropriate, conduct follow-up or re-monitoring after expiration specified if necessary, and then a notice of suspension, withdrawal of the Malaysian halal certification is issued if it fails to implement corrective action within the prescribed period. The Malaysian halal certification will be suspended immediately. The status of the companies will be determined by the halal verification panel, And last but not least, the competent authority may list that company or that premise which suspended or withdrawn Malaysian halal certification in the official halal portal Malaysia, or freeze the company's account for a period at least 3 months through my e-halal system. So next, for those who are doing the serious non-compliant, usually related to the Sharia intensity, shall be subjected to the several following actions, such as they will be issued by the monitoring notice and verification certificate withdrawal notice Halal Malaysia, and then the Malaysian halal certification is withdrawn immediately, and the withdrawal report is submitted to the panel halal certification for a final decision. And then the competent authority may list the company whose their Malaysian halal certification has been withdrawn in the official halal portal of Malaysia, and the authority may freeze the company's account for a period of at least 3 months through the My E-Halal system. And then any centralized kitchen that is withdrawn by the halal certification due to the serious non-compliant, then all relevant food premise shall be withdrawn by the Malaysian halal certification. And then the holder of Malaysian halal certification, subject to suspension or withdrawal of Malaysian halal certification, shall be prohibited from using the Malaysian halal logo and any halal expression or label. And lastly, the competent authority may pursue any form of action in accordance with the law and regulation enforced by the relevant authority if it deems necessary.
My name is Nur Shakira binti Muhammad Yasin, metric number 1181454. Okay, next I will continue on certain other condition that the company have to provide in order for them to apply the halal certification for their company. Okay, based on Malaysian halal management system, there are certain position in the company that the company have to establish for them to fulfill their product with the halal requirement. Okay, for example, the company must consist of halal policy that will explain the responsibility or the commitment for them to provide the halal product in the company. Okay, second is the company have to appoint halal executive which will play a role in the halal management of the company. Besides that, the company also have to develop internal halal committee, halal internal audit, halal risk control and halal training. Furthermore, based on number 34 of Malaysian Halal Certification Procedure Manual 2020, the person who are responsible in issuing the Malaysian Halal Certification is JAKIM after being certified by Malaysian Halal Certification Panel. Under number 35, the period of validity for this certification will differ according to types of application. For example, 1 year for slaughterhouse application, 2 years for food and drink premise application, 3 years for cosmetic product and pharmaceutical products application, and 2 years for company that had registered their company abroad. However, they are doing the manufacturing in this country. However, without being bound by the duration of time that I have mentioned earlier, the authorities are able to set the validity for the certification up to 5 years if the company are able to fulfill with all the requirement given.